Hello, dear viewers, and welcome to a new episode of the Daily Debate. We'll be talking tonight about Egypt's commercial diplomacy and its role in attracting foreign investments. We will explore the multifaceted aspects of Egypt's economic performance and renaissance, including the success of the investment strategies and the pivotal role of the commercial diplomacy in attracting foreign investments, and the impressive achievements of Egypt's economic reform and Egypt's economic achievements over the past 10 years. We'll be doing that in the company of our dear guest with us here in the studio, Dr. Mongy Ali Badr, board member of the UN Association Egypt and Minister Plenipotentiary. A very good evening to you, Dr. Badr. Always a pleasure to have you with us.
Very good evening to you and your viewers. It's my pleasure and the honor to be with you.
Thank you. It's our privilege, sir. And Dr. Badr, dear viewers, allow us first to watch a report about our main topic for tonight, the commercial diplomacy and its role in attracting foreign investments.
Commercial diplomacy is the process of advancing economic interests while also promoting international cooperation, primarily through diplomatic channels to help facilitate business opportunities. While conducting political and national security affairs along with cultural exchanges and promotion typically takes priority for diplomacy, forging economic ties and expanding bilateral investment continue to become growing job functions. Commercial diplomacy plays a remarkable role at the time being when Egypt has made significant and multi-faced efforts through establishing infrastructure mega projects, encouraging national industry, attracting foreign investments for a wide range of economic activities, and developing its export capacities. Egypt's political leadership has spared no effort to improve the country's standing, as the image of a nation dramatically influences its economic vitality, allows it take part in the world competition for trade and foreign investment. In this regard, the state has not stopped launching several national infrastructure mega projects throughout last years. In this respect, the country has embarked on an ambitious journey of transformation through a series of infrastructure development mega projects that have not only redefined its landscape but also significantly enhanced the quality of life for its citizens. These transformative initiatives span diverse sectors ranging from urban development to transportation and more, each contributing to the overarching goal of fostering sustainable growth and prosperity across the state. Egypt has carried out an urban revolution by establishing new cities to alleviate congestion and serve as catalysts for economic development, reflecting a commitment to creating dynamic urban cities that can accommodate the evolving needs of Egyptians. In a dynamic landscape of international trade, the power of commercial diplomacy emerges as a crucial tool for navigating the challenges of globalized economy. In light of Egypt's economic achievements on several levels, the state embassies and ambassadors all over the world serve as linchpins in fostering bilateral economic cooperations while marketing Egypt globally.
Right, welcome back. Thank you for staying with us, dear viewers. You're still watching the Daily Debate. Many thanks to Abi Hussein for this report. And we're back here in the studio with Dr. Mongy Ali Badr, Minister Plenipotentiary and board member of the UN Association Egypt. Now, Dr. Badr, commercial diplomacy is the process of attracting economic interests while also promoting international cooperation. Primarily through diplomatic channels in order to facilitate business opportunities. How do you view the significance of commercial diplomacy in Egypt's economy at large?
In fact, let me mention to you that we have many kind of diplomacy. Number one, it is a classic diplomacy which our embassies abroad take care about this kind of diplomacy. Number two, it's presidential diplomacy. Number three, it's NGOs diplomacy. And also there is economic diplomacy or trade diplomacy, which we are going to talk in details tonight. Also, there is a military diplomacy also. So we have more than 5 kinds of diplomacy. In fact, Egypt relied the importance of trade diplomacy since a long time. Egypt already has signed many trade agreements with many countries. The total of population around 1 billion population. So this free trade agreement, it's enlarge the market, and also in the meantime it helps to attract more foreign investment. This number one. Number two, foreign trade agreement is to facilitate import and export between Egypt and Europe, Africa, Latin America, even United States of America, Arab countries, and the last
Asia,
one is Turkey.
Yeah.
No, Asia, we didn't sign a lot of agreement with Asia because this time it's not suitable for us, because production system in Asia, it's very strong, and if you open your market in front of export of Southeast of Asia, it will kill your industry. So at this time we would like to protect our industry, so we are not in a hurry to sign free trade agreement with Asia. Going back to economic diplomacy or trade diplomacy, let me mention to you, we have 2 forms of economic diplomacy. One positive and another one is negative. If I'm going to mention to the negative side of trade diplomacy, I'm going to mention that the negative side is derived from intimidation aspect of economy, such as economic sanction, economic embargo, economic pressure, economic boycott, demand to repay debt. And another side we mention, it's positive side of economic diplomacy. Number one, granting or receiving advantage. Like if we have a good relation with, for example, with America, they are going to facilitate your mission, and they are going to facilitate your negotiation with IMF and the World Bank, as happened before. Number two, one of the positive aspect, it's economic privilege. Like now we have an agreement with United States of America allows to Egyptian export from ready-made clothes to come in American market free from custom duties and the taxes. Also, there is economic aid, economic grant, trade privilege, and also the main important point, if we still talking about the positive side of economic diplomacy, I'm going to mention to you, it facilitates your negotiation with IMF and the World Bank if you request for a loan or grant. So there are 2 sides of this diplomacy.
Positive and negative.
Positive and negative. So the cleverness of the negotiator of Egypt, he should understand how to go to the positive side and try to avoid the negative side.
And what, Dr. Badr, could be some of the negative aspects of economic diplomacy in specific?
Yeah, in fact, it's very bad diplomacy if we are going to talk about the negative side. It's an economic sanction, like what happened now
this doesn't happen
between
with
Russia
Egypt.
and,
Right.
and the West.
Right.
And
This doesn't happen with Egypt because Egypt is friends to everybody, and Egypt respects international law, and Egypt is
no, it happened with Egypt with another kind of regulation, like to put pressure on you for granting dollar or euro or something like that. The shortage of dollar in Egyptian market, one of the reason pressure from Western countries.
But that problem no longer exists at the moment.
Nothing stopped. But we can mention that the pressure was 100% and another pressure was 25%. But the tools of policy continue. It doesn't stop. But if this pressure, high level or low level, according to your relation with other countries. We understand very well this game, and we try to find tools how to defend our interest, how to maximize our interest, how to find another wing in our relation. So that's why we are member in BRICS, and we try to enlarge our relation with China and Russia. And in the meantime, we would like to continue in good relation with Europe and America.
Right. And this is the balance that Egypt always applies.
Because of what? We have a unique situation. And it's not good for you to be right or left. It's better to be neutral. Okay? To be a member in Nine Line movement as we were before. The second point I would like to prove to you that it's a very balanced foreign policy. 29 and the 30 of this month, there is a big conference between Egypt and the European Union. It will be in administrative capital. And in the meantime, one of the goals of this conference, how to facilitate trade between Egypt and the EU, how to facilitate incoming investment from Europe, how to set up industrial system to produce in Egypt and to export to Europe. How to keep Egypt in the side of Europe. And also, Egypt, it's a big market now.
It is.
And most of our trade with Europe, around 45% from our total trade is with Europe. So we are very important customers for European system. And also, we hope to attract some industries which it costs Europe a lot of money. So it's better for Europe to transfer some of their factories to Egypt, because the cost in Egypt, the cost of production, it's very low compared with Europe. So we can produce here in Egypt and we export to Europe. So there is advantage for Egypt. Number one, to increase investment. Number two, to increase the number of employment. Number three, to import technology. Number four, to increase your export to Europe. And this will minimize the trade deficit and balance of trade.
Right.
So this it's many advantage which we can gain from continuing and developing cooperation with Europe. In the meantime, how to find another window, another door with East to attract technology with low cost compared with Europe. And also, the system of cooperation with China is different from Europe. Like I would like to explain this point.
Please.
The policy of China is to have a partnership. So it's not a matter of exporting from China to Egypt. No, it's a matter to have joint venture. It's a matter to improve infrastructure. It's a matter of transferring of technology. So all these 3 points, if you are dealing with Europe, the system is different. So that's why we keep our classic relation with West, and in the meantime, we invent new tools of relation with East.
Right. What about Africa here? We have to mention Africa.
Okay. Africa, they consider that Egypt is the big brother. So, and in the meantime, since 2014, since His Excellency Mr. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, he put in his foreign policy 3 angles of foreign policy. Number 1, bilateral, regional, and also in the meantime, there is African dimension in our foreign policy. And we keep saying to the West and China that we would like to improve infrastructure in Africa because of what? Building infrastructure, it will facilitate trade and investment, and also in the meantime it will increase the welfare of African people. Also there is an initiative, we call it NEPAD 2063, and this initiative concentrate on infrastructure. So Egypt is keening to push African countries to integrate together. And in this, I would like to add that tomorrow it will be meeting in Tunisia for COMESA countries in investment. They are going to discuss the points which I mentioned before, relating, encouraging investment in Africa. The meantime, concentrate on infrastructure. Number 3, increasing the trade volume of trade between COMESA countries. Number 4, to try to have one situation in front of international organization and also in front of other economic blocs.
Right, and we should never forget that after all, Egypt is the gate to Africa and from Africa.
Of course. It's very nice sentences. And also I would like to add the economic dimension of your sentence, that exporting to Africa is very cheap and also very easy, because the measures or technical measures, it's very low compared with Europe. So it's easy for any Egyptian businessman to export to Africa. This number 1. Number 2, Africa, it's a little bit near to us, so we need to increase the number of air flight between Cairo and other destination in Africa. Number 3, we should encourage business sector to go to Africa, in front of going up to Europe, going down to Africa. Number 3, I should help the teenage or young people from Egypt to fly to Africa. Why I am trying to concentrate on youth or young people? Because climate in Africa, it's very tough. So old men like me cannot afford the weather in Africa. So we would like to send young people should go there, and they should move from place to another place in Africa, and they should have the flexibility to deal with African society.
After all, we are a youthful population, and Africa has a youthful population. Dr. Badr, dear viewers, we will go now to listen to Adhan al-Isha, or the call for al-Isha prayer, and then come back and start a continued discussion. Welcome back. That was the call for al-Isha prayer, Adhan al-Isha. Back here in the daily debate with Dr. Mongy Badr, Minister Plenipotentiary and board member of the UN Association Egypt, talking about commercial diplomacy here in Egypt and its role in attracting foreign investments. Welcome back, dear viewers, but we'll have to leave you again, Dr. Badr, and dear viewers, after your permission, and watch another report about our topic here. And this time, the focus is not on the mega infrastructure projects that Egypt had embarked on over this past period, but also its great efforts in attracting direct foreign investments. Please stay with us.
As the world's economy and trading systems undergo profound transformations, the role of commercial diplomacy becomes increasingly vital. Today, commercial diplomats are not only promoting national brands and strengthening the image of national companies, but also uncovering hidden opportunities, expanding tourism and attracting crucial foreign direct investments. Investing in new mega projects has been a major economic feature in Egypt, embarking on a number of national mega projects that aim to enhance the competitiveness of the economy, create employment opportunities and attract foreign and domestic private investments. With work underway, these national mega projects are contributing to several chapters in Egypt's economic progress. Egypt's Sustainable Development Strategy emphasizes the full participation of all the country's apparatuses, ensuring its yields to all parties. The strategy as well considers equal opportunities for all and efficient use of resources to ensure the rights of future generations. No doubt that Egypt's steps towards the new republic are important milestones constituting a significant leap in government performance, development and upgrading work mechanisms at various levels. All Egypt's development mega-projects stand as beacons of progress, embodying a vision for a more sustainable, vibrant nation. They not only reshape infrastructures, but more importantly, hold the promise of positively transforming the lives of millions, propelling Egypt towards a future defined by innovation, resilience, and inclusive prosperity.
Thank you, Abir Hussein, again for this report, and thanks our editor-in-chief, Ghada Saif, as well. Back here in the studio with Minister Plenipotentiary, Dr. Mongy Ali Badr. Now, Dr. Badr, Egypt's investment landscape has evolved, really, in the past 10 years in a large way. How do you see this landscape now? How would you describe it at the moment?
As I mentioned before, Egypt is a leading country in Africa and Arab countries, and even in Middle East. Number two, in infrastructure, Egypt now invests more than 10 billion Egyptian pound in infrastructure. And this infrastructure will help you to attract foreign investment, and in the meantime it will help you to try to utilize your natural resources in very easy way. Also, it will minimize the cost of transportation. In the meantime, no foreign investment will come to you unless
there is infrastructure.
You have infrastructure.
That's of course aside from the fact that infrastructure serves the future generations. I mean, this is something that will live forever.
This Our Prime Minister, Dr. Madbouli, he mentioned before that we already constructed infrastructure for the coming 50 years. Number three, also infrastructures, it's a matter of image. Because if you visit any country and it has no roads, no harbor, no port, something, it will give you bad impression. So that's why the first thing which you are going to see, if you are a tourist, how about your airport? How about your system of transportation? How about your hotels? Something like that. So Egypt, in fact, already we are very soon to mention that we already finished infrastructure, and we are going to move to the second phase, which we are going to concentrate on industry. In this point, I would like to clarify that we are going to concentrate on traditional industry which absorb a lot of employment. And the second direction, or the second industry, it will be high value added. And this high value added industry, I'm going to mention in specific. Number one, IT, information technology. Number two, AI, artificial intelligence. Number 3, chemicals industry. Number 4, engineering industry. This we call it, it's leading industries, which will lead the other industry for development.
And these industries rely mainly on human capital. I mean, the engineers, the brilliant minds in AI.
I'm going to come to you in details, but let's start with industry. Because of what? There is development words. This applied in America and applied in Asia. What we call, there is no wealth without infrastructure. There is no stability without agriculture. There is no money without industry. So if you apply this on Egypt, we already finished infrastructure, and we are going to enlarge agriculture by reclamation a lot of hectares in the desert. Number 3 is industry, which we talk now industry. So we have 2 kind of industry: classic industry and the high value added industry. So high value added industry, it need clever or elite. This as what happened in China and India. They are following the same model of development in their development process. That they concentrate on high value added sectors, and after this value added already grow, they attract the other sector. I'm going to mention one example.
Yes.
IT in India. They concentrate IT in India in one or two
provinces or states,
yes, in Bangalore. So they start to produce and export. The first shipment of IT, it was $50,000. Now, last year, $150 billion.
Wow.
You see? So this, it's which should concentrate. You cannot, or you don't have enough resources to refresh all economic sectors in one day or on one plan. No, you cannot, because you don't have enough resources. So we should concentrate in high value added and another sector, classic sector.
And since you spoke of the industry, Dr. Badr, can I ask that if the localization of the industry, and depending on local components manufactured here in Egypt, is an important element here to make sure that we don't face any foreign currency problems, and to make sure that we depend on our own resources? Is that an important element that we should focus on?
Yeah, this it's very important, but not in general. Because of what? You should choose industries which raw material already exist in Egypt. Don't choose any industry which you need to import raw material from outside.
Yeah.
No, it's a big mistake. This is number 1. Number 2, we call it import substitution. This slogan, it's already finished. No country can produce everything. You should export what you have comparative advantage, and you should import the other which you cannot produce. For example, palm oil. You cannot cultivate here in Egypt. You should import from Malaysia or Indonesia, something like that, because you cannot cultivate here. It doesn't fit with your land or with your room or with your weather. Okay, this is number 1. Number 2, this trade diplomacy, in fact, it's not only to concrete economic goals or economic result. No, it can do very political
goals. It can achieve political goals.
Yeah, this and even so that's why I am a commercial man, and in my negotiation with my counterpart, I should use all elements, starting from history to civilization to culture to advantage
Right.
element, everything I should use. And in fact, we have here, in fact, ACS, Egypt Commercial Service. This, they are a diplomat, but they are working with investment, trade and the negotiation. They are very clever, and they are have a good learning, and there are a lot of examine before to be a commercial attaché. In fact, they are very clever, and I consider this, it's the biggest university to produce for us economic negotiator or trade negotiator. And they succeeded to set up a lot of trade free trade agreement with many countries. Still now, they are trying to attract foreign investment and also to increase Egyptian export outside. And there is a very important point that if we import from outside, I should choose the most suitable source for me from quality, quantity, and the price. These three elements should be together. So this, my colleague, the commercial attachés, they are choosing the best source for our import. And in the meantime,
that serves quality, quantity, and price.
Mm-hmm. And I'm going to add another element, payment condition. Mm-hmm. This, it's very important now. So this team, this very clever team, they are studying the foreign market, not only for import but for export and attracting foreign investment. Of course, with collaboration with the ambassadors and our embassies outside. Also, trade diplomacy, they can facilitate trade disputes. If there are any trade disputes between Egypt, for example, and Italy, trade diplomacy, they try to facilitate it far away from WTO or far away from court to avoid
arbitration,
or
dispute,
or economic arbitration. This, it's very important also for trade diplomacy. Even trade diplomacy, they are joining in exhibition outside. If we are arranging Egyptian exhibition outside, for example, in Africa, in Ghana, in Kenya, this, the commercial attachés, they are playing a very vital role in arranging the participation, try to have, to minimize the cost of participation, and in the meantime, to arrange meeting between Egyptian business and their counterpart from Kenya, from Ghana, from South Africa. And in fact, usually we have very good result from arranging or establishing exhibition outside. In the meantime, we have very specialists in international organization. Now we have in Geneva, we have a lot of experts in Geneva, in IMF, in World Bank. Most of them, they are coming from ACS or Egypt Commercial Service. Also, private sector, they try to attract these people after they retired. Okay, so we
to benefit from their experience.
Yes. So in fact, this commercial attachés, he understands very well the condition of Egypt if we are strong in this sector or we are in middle or it's weak point. Okay, and in the meantime, he doesn't cost the budget, Egypt budget, except his salary, and so he tried to use this social media, even social media, they are using it in promoting Egyptian economy outside. And I think they did a lot of good result in last days.
Okay, tell us about some of these, excuse me, some of these successes. I mean, I'm sure.
Success story.
Yeah, we have some success, and this was your job for a long time. So tell us about some success stories, and also maybe if you have time, about some stories that we failed to reach the
Yes, of course,
target or the goal.
In our life, we did something. We are successful in some aspect, and also we are failed because you have a competitors. So I'm going to mention to you in 1989, I was in our Egyptian embassy in Kuwait. Kuwait, yes.
Okay.
I started with Kuwait. And in that time we have a general exhibition for Egyptian exported to Kuwait. And we have this exhibition in 5-star hotel. This the first challenge. And the first day after we finished the opening, I tried to check with the exhibitors. How's everything with you? Everything is good. Second day. How about your activities? No, nothing at all. 5 days, nobody give me positive answer. And the last day of exhibition, I discovered that since the first day, importers from Kuwait, they come to them and they mention, we bought all your exhibition and we would like to be your agent in Kuwait, but under one condition, don't sell any one item from your exhibitors. So in fact it was I was sad at that time, but at the end of the day
it was a shock.
It was a shock for me, but at the end of the day I was very happy. The second one, I was in Portugal. At that time I was second secretary or first secretary, and we tried to join Expo 98 in Portugal.
Okay.
I received instructions from the Minister of Trade. No, we don't cancel Egypt participation. You know, this expo, like what happened in Dubai last year. So my evaluation that we should participate. So I reply the minister, no, we should participate. I receive another letter, no, we don't participate. So I fly from Portugal to Egypt. And I met the minister. I told him that this.
You explained to him.
Yes, this advantage of our
yeah.
participation. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Because it was culture event, economic event, and
you succeeded
trade,
in convincing him.
Yes, I succeeded at the end of the day to convince
him. That's a beautiful story.
And it was the first exhibition which should be organized by the Ministry of Trade, and we don't pay any £1 or $1 to cover the cost. Because of what? I enlarge our participation. I have an area for culture and for civilization. I have a commercial area, and even I succeeded to convince the Portuguese to have restaurant and also to have another shop to buy Khan al-Khalili products. And
you must have.
Yeah, Ministry of Trade here, they sell this restaurant. They have an auction and also the shop, and the 20% to the exhibitor, and they gain a lot of money at the end of the day.
That's a beautiful story.
Yeah, with collaboration with the Ministry of Culture and Mr. Ambassador. In fact, he helped me a lot, and we have the first.
You must have been speaking to them Portuguese, not English or French.
No, they are speaking English.
Okay.
In that exhibition, we have #1 in culture side. And in the meantime, most of the exhibitors, they did a lot of profit. The last of the day, we have our models that we are #1 in the exhibition. And it was very good story, success story for me. But of course, I don't want to mention to you the other side.
Yeah, we're really happy to listen to you, Dr. Badr, and to these stories down the memory lanes. And maybe in another time we could talk about other beautiful stories such as these. Unfortunately, we're out of time, dear viewers. We were talking about the trade diplomacy and the commercial diplomacy and its important role in the economy here at large, in the company of Dr. Mongy Ali Badr, Minister Plenipotentiary and board member of the UN Association Egypt. Always a great pleasure to have you with us.
Thank you for you. Thank you for your viewers and your team. And in fact, inshallah, the future for us, we are concentrated in economic development, but we need a little bit of patience. We should aware that there is a lot of pressure regionally and international, and we are on the right track. But we need a little bit patient from our people. We are on the right track. The end, the future for us, and I'm going to mention this future for Egypt. It will lead and at the level of Africa and also Arab and also in Middle East, and Egypt always to be the country which lead Africa and the Arab countries. And in the meantime, Egypt, even we are a little bit suffering from economic side, but we have all potential to be very successful country. We have population, we have natural resources, we have unique location, and also we have the ability, the political ability to develop ourselves and to be one of the countries which play very active role in establishing new order, new
world
international
order.
Yeah.
Inshallah. Thank you very much, Dr. Badr, and thank you, dear viewers, for watching the Daily Debates. Good night.